Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Sometimes my theme song, sometimes I really jam to it. It feels really good. Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello. Nice to see you all. Nice to see you all. You better not bite. You better be good. Be good. Because mods can hit the naughty corner too, believe it or not. Hmm? Now, the first thing that I ate that you guys saw was the fermented cabbage. Sometimes it tastes really good, but sometimes I think I let it sit too long because it seems like it got spicy all of a sudden. And I don't know how it got spicy, but maybe it's overly fermented. Can something be overly fermented? I mean, if you ferment something, it can't be overly fermented, can it? I mean, I don't know. But it had like this spicy, tangy taste to it. So I got these in order to clean my palate. So I wouldn't be making ugly faces to you all while we're talking. I don't want to make ugly faces to you. I made kimchi. Is that what that is? Okay, well then that's what it is then, because it turned spicy. I wasn't expecting it, but yeah, it turned into something. Somebody said they're hungry now. You come over to my house. I feed you. I help you. All right. Okay, I'm making a mess now. I have to hurry up and finish this so then I can start talking to you all. I'm gonna get my brush too, because my hair is tangled, and and um and go to the naughty corner. And yeah, I just want to untangle it, okay? Mm, mm. Oh my God, if my father saw me eating with my left hand, he would flip out. I'll put it over to my right. Here, Bubba. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. I'm making my brush, and I'll be right back. Samael is not, well, he's here, but his internet is not good. So just give me like a couple seconds. Hold on, okay? I'm sorry. Man. Okay. The thing I want to talk to you guys about is this, right? I have seen so many issues right now about fertility and population and population control and not enough babies being born and so on and so forth, and the babies that are born turn out to be either narcissistic bastards or autistic. And people are saying, where did all this autism come from? Where is all these these fertility issues and blah blah blah? Now, hear me out. As I was thinking about these issues, something came to me, and I thought, if people are saying that now there are more narcissistic people being born, or that exist, what's the reason for it? I have a theory. I do. I have a theory that there's more narcissistic people because there are less babies being born. The reason I say this is because my father's generation and before, those people had between 5 and 12 brothers and sisters. So they kind of knew that the world did not evolve around them. And they understood that they weren't that special. And especially the parents. The parents didn't teach them that they were special. But nowadays, people have less children, so less opportunities to show you that you're not special. And then, on top of that, childbearing in the Western world today is so bad. And I'm going to say bad. You want to know why? Because of all the rules and all the red tape around parenting. You can't even enjoy your life when you're a parent, it seems like, because there's so many rules. And if you're not dedicating and making your child your whole entire world and they're this little pedestal thing, if you're not like that, then people are like, oh, you're not a good parent. But before, we had better people being raised when they weren't treated that way, when they weren't treated like some special specimen of like precious metal or so. I don't know. You guys understand what I'm saying? But people were better when they weren't raised that way. Now it's, I'll give you an example. So many parents are out there sacrificing their whole lives, their careers, their dreams, their whatever, their happiness. I mean, whatever happiness is. I don't really believe in this idea of happiness, but many parents are out there sacrificing everything, dedicating their whole world to a little human. And many of these little humans grow up and, pardon me, say, fuck you, dad, or fuck you, mom. And I don't mean to use that word, but that's a quote. These kids are not appreciative. And the reason is, why would they be? If you were raised your whole life thinking that you were special and everybody should dedicate their lives to you, that they should sacrifice all for you, at what point do you grow up and say, okay, now everybody can stop sacrificing for me, everybody can stop dedicating their lives to me? No, you just grow up thinking that that's the way it should be. The reason I say I'm talking to you guys about this because I was thinking in my head about population and why we need more people, and then why we need people who aren't like the current people. We need people. We need to keep population numbers up. But if you make it so hard for parents to parent because you're telling them that think about this. I'll give you another example. In other countries, parenting is easy. Want to know why? There's not that many rules to it. You have your kid, and the kid go outside. The kid has a life. The kid actually develops a life. They go and they meet neighbors and they talk to neighbors and they're disciplined by neighbors and they venture out and they have adventures and they learn on their own. You don't have to teach them that much because they learn. And it's just freer for a parent. A parent doesn't have to constantly be thinking, how am I going to entertain my child today? How am I going to make sure they get the nourishment, mental nourishment that they need, and blah, blah, blah. It's not all on the parent. And yeah, so making it harder for parents to even be parents is part of the reason why, and so expensive. And it's so expensive, right? And if you're not in the upper class, if you're not in the upper 20%, you're struggling, and you're gonna have to sacrifice so much. And it didn't used to be that way. I'm talking to my mom and my dad, and I was asking them about these things, and this is what they were telling me. They said it didn't used to be that way, and being a parent in America or the Western world is so much harder because you're like trapped with this child. You're like not trapped as in like you can't get free of them. Trapped as in your whole day has to be about them. It has to be always about them. And parents just, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming because you got to remember, parents are adults. They are people who want to enjoy their lives too. And if you have to just dedicate every mind-numbing moment into being a child again, It's hard on the mental health of a adult human. It is. It is what it is. And I know people are like, well, you should have thought about that before you had a child. Well, you know what? It shouldn't be this way. This isn't how parenting was before the current society. This isn't how parenting used to be. That's why it was so much easier for generations before. You know what I mean? Biblically speaking, the world is mostly okay. All right, listen, can we find better vocabulary? I understand your point, okay? But can we find better vocabulary? I know in the Bible it didn't say that word. Can you use the biblical word? Okay? Abomination, donkey, donkey. The world is donkey. Can we do better? Like why? This is the problem with my pride. You guys, I work so hard and try to dedicate my life to you guys, and then you guys just turn around and say things like donkey, and see, this is why I can't dedicate my life to you guys, because you guys aren't appreciative, and then it gets worse. Punyiti, it gets worse, and like I'm trying to I'm trying to get you guys to and then just the degradation, it just keeps going. It just, you guys aren't progressing. Don't care. Don't care. You guys remember Shrek when he's like, don't care. But anyway, so what I wanted to do was actually, in truth, sorry guys, I'm just trying to look at what my hair is looking like. All right, so what I wanted to do truthfully is I wanted to do my hair, but I'm not going to do my hair because screw it, it is what it is. I'm probably, after I talk with you guys, I'm probably just going to throw it up in a bun and, I'm probably just going to throw it in a bun and lay on it. So what's the point of even trying to look like something? I mean, you guys love me no matter what, right? Right? You guys love me no matter what I look like, because you guys aren't here for how I look. You guys are here because you guys value my mental capacity to think and to provide biblical words for you. Are you fishing? Fishing? What do you mean? Listen, I would go fishing, but man, fishing is something that you got to be up way too early for that, and I can't. I'm not a morning person. Do you guys know I hate the sunrise? You guys know that, right? I absolutely loathe the sunrise. You guys know that, right? So how in the world would you think I'm gonna go fishing? That's not happening. No, because you got to be up too early. And the same thing with hunting. The same thing with hunting. Can't do it. I can't do it. So, oh, and then I saw my father, right? My father, he said that he wants me to let the natural hair color grow down. He said, but I think all fathers are like that, right? All fathers want their daughters to be natural, like completely natural. But I told him, I was like, listen, it's not much. It's just I'm in an auburn mood. Look at this auburn color. I love it. And yeah, my burgundy hair is not. Can you stop? Okay, how have you guys been this week? You guys, spring has officially begun to bloom. Are you guys enjoying it? Are you loving it? Hating it? What? How are all of you? I want to ask you guys something else. More recently, like in the past month or so, I've started to get more lethargic. And somebody said that it has something to do with the time of the year, like the weather or something like that. Do you guys feel the same thing? Like this heaviness, and you feel like lethargic and lazy or tired? Are you guys feeling more tired, or is it just me? Says no, it made me sneeze. What made you sneeze? What? Wait, I don't know what you're saying. That's a mirror vampire hair. So even my hair is blood sucking too. My hair sucks blood too. Is that what we're okay? Oh, allergies. Yeah. Oh, same thing. Me, listen. I never took an allergy pill in my life, and this yesterday and the day before and today, I took allergy medication. That stuff makes you so drowsy and tired. Maybe that's why I'm lethargic. No. This feeling started a month ago. So no, it's not. It's definitely not. Somebody says they feel like that in the winter. Oh my god, I love winter. I do not get lazy in winter. I get happy. I'm happy. You know, gray days, and I'm just, yeah, I'm in my element. Sorry guys, I'm sorry. I had to like. You should visit Colorado. Ain't nothing wrong watching the sun come up on a mountain morning. Well, the only time I've actually seen the sun come up, it hasn't been on purpose. So there's that. But I I hate spring. Yeah, I hate spring and summer. But I gotta admit, this spring hasn't been that bad. I've actually kind of enjoyed the warm weather coming, but not like, not like super hot, but it's comfortable. Let's just say that it's comfortable. Dunamis, hey Dunamis, I haven't seen you in years. He says, no, I feel great. The weather is great here in the UK. Well, UK weather is always great. I love it. He says, I'm only asking because I saw the most retarded tweet response to it and saying, wait, what was your first question? Let me see. It says, quick question. If a girl does corn with someone, does it count as catching a body? Okay. All right. All right. So this view, primal, I know this is a weird question, but still, I've always told you guys to ask me any questions you want, and I'll answer them as honestly as I can. I believe that the moment that a woman sells her body, the moment that she sells her body, she has now been with the world, in my view. That's just how I see it. She's been with the world, because at that point you are available to the world, and if you're available to the world, then you, to me, are community property. Community property. So to answer your question, yes, the moment that a woman puts a price tag and gives herself to Tom, Dick, Harry, Joe, whoever, everybody else, she is now community property. She's selling herself to random men, and anybody can come take it as long as they have the price of it. I mean, yeah, no. That is no. It's not right. And to me, she's community property at that point. So yeah, Suka, for the streets. For the streets. So for me, it doesn't even be like, oh, here it is. Hey, you guys remember on the Whatever podcast and Lapeef and everybody else, they asked the same question like, oh, what's your body count? That's not even a question anymore. Her body count matters not at that point. The moment that she has become community property, her body count matters not. She's lost value. She's lost, yeah. So no. Petri dish. Petri dish. Is it Petri or Petri? I don't know. The world counts as one. Exactly. Exactly. It's one and all, 3G. One and all. That's how I see it. So I can't answer your question, Primal One, as if like, oh, does it count as a body, or she's community property. So yeah. What is it when a man sells themselves to women? What is him? If a man sells himself to women, so women's value typically comes in her chastity. how unavailable she is to the world. That's usually what makes a woman more valuable. Hence why virgins are seen as more valuable, because they haven't been touched by everybody in the world or what have you. They haven't been touched at all. Men's value is not the same as women's value. A woman's value is different, but a man's value does not come from his chastity or how little he's been touched. It doesn't equate. But if a man does sell himself to women, I don't know. I mean, you know what? I've never really considered such a thing, because would I see him the same as I see a woman? No, I don't see him the same as I see a woman. And I'll tell you why. Because of the anatomy of the deed. The anatomy is not the same. A woman is being, you guys understand, people are entering her. It opens her up to more diseases, pregnancies, all kinds of things. Men, on the other hand, it's not the same. So although it is bad, it's still seen as bad, but it's not the same. Yeah, it's just not. But it's still disgusting. It's still disgusting. And I still don't believe that a man is good man. He's not a good man to me. He wouldn't be a good man. But his value is not dependent on his chastity, like a woman's is. Richer old men like younger what? Oh, rich old woman, sorry. Rich old woman likes younger guys. Okay, I was like, wait, what? Oh my god. I was gonna kick you off my channel for a second. I was like, wait a minute, you're on the wrong channel. Okay. It says Petri dish goes both ways. Pete is American, Pet is British. Oh, really? So it's both Petri dish and Petri dish. Okay, got it. Yakub, I've never seen a man sell himself to women. It happens. It happens. The type of men that this happens to are very rare from what I've seen, but you see in Europe. In Europe, you'll see like guys who are model-esque or who look like models, like perfect bodies or what have you. And there's a lot of lonely women out there who just want to touch. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? All right, I don't want to talk about this anymore. But the next thing I wanted to tell you guys is this. The title of the stream is called Give Her an Offer That She Can't Refuse. And the reason I told you to give her an offer that she can't refuse is because we have a society of women with the idea that they have unlimited options, unlimited time, unlimited resources, and that there are unlimited men at their disposal when they want it. And the thing is, men make themselves absolutely available. So my idea to men is to stop being so available to women who are not deserving of you, because men need to show that they respect themselves, because the reason why women believe that men are disposable and at their service and so on and so forth is because a lot of men, they have the old idea that women are like how they used to be, but women aren't like that anymore. You're dealing with a whole different class, a whole different animal. This isn't the same anymore. So I believe that men should show them that it's not easy to just throw a man away or to get a man or what have you. Don't make yourself so easy. And then eventually, slowly but surely, it's not a fast thing, but when women start being alone in mass and start looking around and like, I can't even get a man to come over here to change my oil. Anyway, but yeah, I can't even get a man to come over here to change my oil. Because women are okay with not being married now. This is the different beast that I'm talking about, the whole different animal. Women are okay with not being married. There's a lot of women out there who really are okay with not being married. No matter how we like to try to phrase it and make it seem like, oh, they're unhappy. They probably are unhappy, but they're also okay with it. We have a different society. So women, even being okay with not getting married, a woman will not be okay with not getting attention, because attention is woman's currency. So if you stop going to them and giving them the intimacy that they're craving, if you stop taking them out on these dates for, after the first date, if you guys don't connect, then just, move on. But just constantly giving and giving, you guys got to stop it. You got to stop it. It's not. So the offer that the woman can't refuse is either you get better and it's a shame that we have to go through this. It really is a shame that we have to have this kind of, but this is how we got here somehow. We got here somehow. And it didn't take a year to get here. It's been generations. So how long do you guys think it's going to take to fix the issue? If it took generations to get here, unless there's war and, you guys understand, apocalyptic kind of stuff. Unless that kind of stuff happens, it's going to be a slow process. Oh yeah, Aaron, attention. Oh, sorry guys, my computer is overheating. It's overheating. I need to get something to put it on. Hold on. Oh, you know what? I'll put it on this. Okay, 1 second, guys. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. It's overheating. Ooh. Okay, stay. Okay, here we go. You guys can still see me pretty good though, right? So, what was I saying? I was saying something. Gosh, what was I just saying? Oh yeah, attention. So, attention. Just like the women who wear those low cut shirts, the tops that go all the way down to here and they have their breasts pushed up. Why do you think that they're wearing those clothes? Why? Do you think, and when you ask them, why are you wearing these clothes, these slutty clothes? Oh, I look good. This is how I dress. I'm not dressing like this for men. I'm not looking for you to look at me. This is how I like to look. What? Because if that woman were, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that because then you guys might look at me differently if I say that. I'm trying to keep you guys having a positive view of me. This is hard. All right. I'll say it. Screw it. I'll say it. If that woman if she were the last woman on earth, not the last exactly, but there were only like 10 women left on the planet and it was all men, would she dress like that? Because she would be afraid. She would be afraid to dress like that, wouldn't she? Because if a woman is put in a situation like that, of course, even if she so-called like it, it's not about like. Women do that for attention, and they do it for what is this called where you get an advantage? You get an advantage, or people treat you differently. Like if you want to get ahead in line or something like that at a restaurant or a discotheque or something like that, what do? You have this short, you have your bosoms out and everything. You think that the man is going to get you in the club, or you think he's going to get someone else? He's going to go to you. So I think that the attention, it's out of control. I did not have an Instagram account, but I use my husband's Instagram. We look at these videos. I kid you guys not. Me and my husband going through Instagram to look at funny videos or what have you, we are constantly bombarded with hoes. Hoes. Absolute hoes. And I'm not even going to try to act like these are garden tools. Absolute garden tools that every picture that they take, they're like this. I'll show you. They're like this. But, the bottom part is showing. You guys understand. Like, you guys can't see my butt, but imagine it like that with my butt showing up. God, no, don't imagine my butt. You guys understand. You guys understand what I'm saying. So every single picture that you see is like that. And you're like, so me and my husband, we can't even go through Instagram, TikTok, and now it's even started on YouTube. But at least on YouTube, women try to be a little bit more informational, or what's it called? Yeah, informational. They try to be more, they're not as hoish. Let's just say that. They're not as hoish on YouTube, but YouTube is also a male-dominated platform. Not really by women, but Instagram, holy hell, they are just disgusting. And I asked my husband, I was like, as we were watching it, we're sitting there, scrolling through, and I looked at my husband, I said, honey, you have this account. You see this often. I said, is this something that you think that turns men on more or turns them off, like, more, like turn them off more? My husband answered me this. He said it just like this. I'm going to tell you exactly what he said. He said, it's too prevalent. He said it's too much. At this point, it doesn't feel like anything. He says, as a man, I feel nothing anymore because they're everywhere. The boobs and the booties are everywhere. That's what he said. He said, if it were like once every 300, 500 videos, then yeah, maybe it would be like, ooh. But he said, every time I'm flipping through not YouTube, Instagram, it's everywhere. And he said, it's not appealing anymore. It's not appealing. And I told him, I was like, so are women turning men off? Is this something that is put in your face so much that now it's actually making men disgusted? Or maybe not even disgusted, but just not turned on anymore, that they don't feel anything anymore. It's not something where it's like, back before, it was like a taboo. It was like rare that you saw a boob or an ankle or like an ankle, anything. But now ladies are constantly just out there and you see it every day, everywhere. And it's not doing anything to men anymore. It's not. At this point, men are becoming numb to sexual temptation. No, I won't say temptation. I'll say, I don't know. I don't know the right words to say, but you guys understand what I'm saying. But it's almost numbing. Oh, it says yes. He's like, yes, it is numbing. I was thinking, like, what if it were the same way around? What if it were the men who were showing themselves off to women? You know what I'm talking about? Like, I give you an example. Like, instead of it being ladies always showing their breasts and having their bosoms out and, always taking pictures with their butt and all these women in bikinis and all that, what if it were men showing off money? What if the same thing were tempting to women? Not sexuality, because women aren't really attracted to sexuality. Women are attracted to providers. They're attracted to security. So if men were constantly out there, let's say that, right? Every man that they saw looked rich. What would that do to women? Because all these men are watching these Instagram girls, and like, for men, beauty, attractiveness, sexuality is constantly boom, 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 and they're getting numb to it. Women getting attracted to all the men who look rich, and then going out with the men and finding out that none of them really are rich, just like how so many men think they're getting a beautiful girl who's chaste and something, and then they go out with them and find out that it's not true. It was all smoke and mirrors. What if the same thing happened to women? Women, all the men are looking rich online. All the men look like they have yachts and they put, I don't know, like things in their pants to make themselves look like they're, I don't know, something that they're not. Let's just say that. And then all the women figure out that this isn't true. So what would that do to the mentality of women? Would women stop being gold diggers? Would they get numb to men throwing money at them? Would they be unattracted? Would they start getting unattracted to the things that normally attract them? I don't know. Frost. Women are attracted to looks, but they also want to look at a guy's lifestyle. That's why they use Instagram for when they're vetting a guy. Yeah, because I guess a man's lifestyle can tell if he's well off or not. Says all men walking with puppies. What? I don't understand that. I don't know what that means, and I feel like it has some type of sinister meaning to it. I don't know. Oh, men doing dishes. Okay, listen to this. I have something to share with you guys about men doing dishes. Okay, hear me out. There was a study done back in, I believe, like 1960s or something like that. Between like the 1960s and 1980s, there was a study done with women. And it was proven that women became more turned off when they saw a man doing housework. Proven. So here it is. A lot of men get told by American women, because Eastern women would never do such a thing, because I know I darn sure do not tell my husband. I would never tell my husband to clean the house. But I have seen that American women, they're constantly asking their man to help them out with their chores. So American women constantly saying, you don't help me. Why don't you help me? And then the man starts helping her. The man starts helping her to make her happy. Huh? You start helping her, and then what happens? The moment you start helping the wench, she gets less attracted to you. So in this study, these women, I don't know if it was a study or like where they were talking to many housewives and so on, and they asked the women how they felt, how they said, oh, I'm so happy he helps me, and so on and so forth. But when the studies were done and they showed their brain signals and all that kind of stuff, it showed that they were actually less attracted to the man, that their attraction signals in their brains and so on went down, that they were less attracted to seeing the men washing dishes or vacuuming or dusting or helping them. They were actually less attracted. So that's why I say all these like men trying to listen to their women and do what the woman says, because if you do it, then all of a sudden she's going to be happy. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Tell her it's your job. Cleaning the house is your job. I'm not doing dishes. That's why I have you. I'm not doing laundry. You're here. Why would I fold clothes if I have you here? Do it. And I bet she'll throw a fit. She'll be like, oh, he's such a misogynist. But guess what? You're not going to be hungry. And when I say hungry, I don't mean hungry like in a different way. I mean hungry the adult way. Says, my stepmom does this because, she does this. She wants my dad to make all the money and then to also clean the house. She's basically useless. He could replace her with a maid, and it would be much cheaper and less of a headache. But you know what? Men have put themselves in this situation because men have started trying to please women, and you start pleasing them, and then they think that they have the upper hand, and you do that, and then Just don't even start. Don't even start. Men who are just getting in a relationship or you're just getting married or what have you, I'm telling you right now, do not bend. Do not bend. What's this? What's the term that the MGTOW? Hold the line. Hold the line. Do not bend. Do not negotiate. Don't. Unless she is sick, dying, don't do it. Don't do it. Never. Don't do it. Don't bend. Because the more you bend, the more agreeable you seem. And when a man is agreeable, it's not attractive to women. Being agreeable or agreeableness is a feminine trait. Women are supposed to be agreeable. Women aren't supposed to be confrontational. They're not supposed to go at you every time there's an issue. They're not supposed to. Women are supposed to be agreeable. Men are supposed to be firm and hold the line. Don't. All right. So he said maids make better housewives. Because a wife should be a maid. A wife should be those things. A wife should be a cook. She should be a maid. She should be the dishwasher. That's what the wife should be. But I know I'm a misogynist and I'm putting women in the kitchen and I'm putting women back, 200, 300 years and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Woman, put on a skirt. Take off your pants. Put on a skirt. Put on a skirt and get to work. Okay, I want to talk to you guys about politics just really quickly because we do have some things that we need to address. And I'm going to pull it up right now so that we can get into it. Larry has, oh my goodness, oh my God. Larry has graciously scoured the internet for us all of this week, and he has brought us the latest and best news. Thank you so much, Larry. Please, everyone, give a round of applause to our neighborhood, Larry. Thank you, Larry, so much for doing what you do. You are the best at failing. I'm kidding failure. I'm kidding, Larry. I can't be too nice to Larry because if I'm being too nice to him, then I feel icky. I feel awkward. I'm like, you're being too nice. I just gotta I gotta hit him in the liver real quick. Kidney shot. Okay, all right, let me see. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Say, mama sa, mama kusa. Okay, Oh, we have, oh goodness, guys, we do have quite a bit of, oh, you guys, oh, so, oh, okay, really quickly, before we get into this news, there is something that was brought up that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Michelle Obama, there's been some controversy over Michelle Obama, aka Big Mike. Anyway, there's been some controversy about him, her, it, they, them, zer. There's been some controversy. So this week, I guess Big Mike had an interview with a black man and he was talking and he said, yeah, I'm happy about you raising an LGBT kid, because me as a black man or something like that. He said, as a black man, I am so grateful for you doing this. And people said that Mike or Michelle Obama was actually saying she was talking as him or something like that. But if you guys listen to that clip, it really did sound like, listen, if I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you, right? Me and you guys are talking right now. You tell me that you are something. Erin, me and Erin are talking. Erin says that she's a housewife. And I turn to her and I say, yeah, I'm so happy and proud of you, Erin, for being a housewife. Because, me as a housewife, I I would be doing the same thing. What did I just say? I said me, right? I wasn't talking about Aaron. I said me. But Big Mike is saying that when he, she, it, they, zer said, I'm so proud of you raising an LGBT kid and me as a black man. That means that he, she, it, zer was saying that the other person was, I listen. I believe that little slick comment that Big Mike made was his way, and I say his because I do believe that Big Mike is a man. I do believe that he's a man, and it's not because he's black. It has nothing to do with race. This person is a man. He's a man. We have never seen a pregnancy picture. We've never seen this person pregnant. We have seen stuff rattling in his pants when he dances on stage with Ellen. We have proof that I believe that he's a man. And Joan Rivers lost her life after revealing that this person is a man, that he's a man. He is a man, and no one's going to tell me anything different. But there's been some controversy about this. So now that I've prefaced it with this, I want to tell you guys this story. LGBTQIA plus pedos and everything sick news. Beyonce's mother, and Michelle Obama, Big Mike, they want the religious people to support the LGBTQIA plus pedos because everyone's sick. Beyonce's mother and Michelle Obama are trying to rally the support of religious people to support rainbows. During Obama's book tour kickoff, Tina Knowles, who is Beyonce Knowles' mother, Tina Knowles and Big Mike spoke about the LGBTQIA plus pedos plus everything sick community, particularly the transsexual community. Of course, because listen, why else wouldn't Michelle Obama be so hell-bent on supporting the transsexuals? Why else would Obama, before he became president, said that he would never allow men to get married. He said that he was not in favor of the LGBTQ community, blah, blah, blah. And then as soon as he got his second term, what did he do? Right in 2013. Boom, 2013 came and bam, everybody can get married. Men and men, women and women. I sincerely believe that this person is a man, and I believe that the reason why we see so much support of the LGBTQ rainbows is because they themselves are a part of that community. But back to the story. Michelle Obama has spoke about the LGBT community, particularly the transsexual community, and how they are viewed by the religious community. Both of them told the crowd at church. Both of them told their audience that churchgoers should not let their religious beliefs get in the way of supporting the rainbows. Listen. Just because you believe in that thing called the Bible, that doesn't mean that you can't support rainbows. I mean, the Bible doesn't say anything about rainbows. You wouldn't be going against your religion, morals, support system, value system. You wouldn't be going against any of that just by supporting the rainbows. So I believe that you should support rainbows. Yeah, that's exactly what she said. In fact, in her memoir, Obama said, and I quote, "We are at a time when the transgender community is under siege, where we are not finding compassion and love. And there are families, because religion, that are struggling to accept people in their own families." End quote. Shut up. They always use the same tired arse words. Love, compassion. Shut up. Just shut up, just shut up, just shut up, shut up, just shut up. I have a question for you all. Because English is not my first language, I want to ask you guys this question. Me as a English as a third language person, what is the difference between the words siege and seize? So siege with a G and seize with a Z. What are the difference between these two words? Are they the same? But they perverted the rainbow. MT, that's the reason why they perverted the rainbow. They wanted to take away a sign of godliness, the God's message to humans. They wanted to take that pure message and pervert it into something else. I'm telling you, they take everything that's good and turn it into perversion, filth. Seize is grab. And what is siege? Siege is grabbing too, right? Like seize the moment, siege the moment? No. Siege is attack. So a siege is attack, and to seize something is to take hold of something, control something, right? A seize is an invasion. No, I would say a siege is an invasion, not seize, because seize, they say seize the moment. Illegal searches and seizures, like that's part of grabbing something and controlling something. Okay, siege is a fight. Oh, okay. Thank you, Larry. You meant siege. Okay. So siege is fight, is a fight. So how would I use that in a sentence? Well, I'll try later. I'll try that later. But anyway, let's go back to the story. When Obama asked Tina Knowles, who is Beyonce Knowles' mother, when Obama asked Tina what she would say to those struggling, as Obama put it, she said, hold on, I need to scroll down. Hold on. She said, and I quote, "I would say, do you love them? Do you care about them? Is the judgment more important than the love and the relationship that you have? I think if you really and truly believe in God, oh, you better not." I can't even finish this quote. Because I know where the hell this is going. I know if she is going to say that if you love God, that you will. I would say, do you love them? Do you care about them? Is the judgment more important than the love and the relationship you have with them? I think if you really and truly believe in God, then you believe in accepting all of his children. Oh my God. Oh, I hate these people. I hate them. Oh, I hate them so bad. I hate them so bad. I can't. Oh my God. Somebody sent me an email. I'm not going to say their name. Somebody sent me an email saying that they know of some people that they could send me to talk about, this is like domestic violence things, but I'm not a domestic violently person, but it's something about like controlling your anger and not letting people get to you, because the only time people actually get to me is when they do this stuff. When because it's the reason why it gets to me is because they use religion in order to push perversion. And I just, and something so pure as religion should be left the freak alone. So it bothers me really bad, and I don't think it's healthy, like how angry I get. It's not, I mean, you guys may think it's funny. I think you guys may think it's kind of funny, but it's not funny to me. I am really upset. I am really genuinely pissed. And I get really upset when I see these articles and the crap that they say. And another thing is that another reason why it pisses me off so fucking much is because it's it's spreading. It's spreading like a goddamn cancer. It's spreading around the United States, and yeah, I have younger family members, and they go to school and they go outside, and the amount of people who genuinely accept this garbage is just mind-numbingly unbelievable to me. How many people accept this bullshit because they want to be nice and they don't want people to feel ostracized. I don't want you to feel unwelcome. You know what? That is the point. That is the point. Jesus said, I am not here to bring unity. I am here to with a sword. I come with a sword to separate the bullshit from the pure stuff. That's what he said. Check it out. Check it on the Bible. It's there. He used those exact words. I'm here to separate the bull crap from the purity. And right now, we have people who are trying to mix bullcrap and purity, and it's working because so many people are actually allowing this garbage in our religious establishments, marrying man on man inside of churches and synagogues. I mean, but then again, synagogues are a whole different story. I mean, don't even get me started. But okay. All right. I am all right, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm here. I'm here. Hi guys. All right, let's move on to another story, shall we? Because I think you guys, oh, there's more to that story. Oh, we're not done. We're not done. Okay. All right, as we continue, Michelle Obama, Big Mike, finished his lecture with opinions on access to healthcare, which basically means the accessibility of mutilating children. Right. Obama finished her lecture with opinions on access to healthcare and her victimhood as a woman, claiming that people could not fathom that Michelle was making a choice for herself when talk of her divorce to Barack Obama gained steam. I can't express to you all how much I don't give a flying fill in the blank. I can't even express to you guys how much I don't care. I could not care less if Michelle, Big Mike, and the wimp, if they divorce. I really couldn't care. Just don't care. I just all right. Next, let's move on to a better story. Hopefully, a story that doesn't. Yeah. All right. So, prominent Democrats have pulled out of their latest impeachment attempt on President Trump. Now, these people, we already knew that they would try to impeach him yet again. Why am I holding this thing like a microphone? And you guys just sit there and let me do it. You guys didn't even say anything in the chat. You guys would sit here and watch me hold this thing as a microphone and don't say anything. You guys are supposed to be on my side. Imagine with friends like you guys, I don't need enemies. I don't need enemies because people they're gonna clip me going like this and say, see, we knew she was insane. We knew it. And you guys aren't helping me look normal. You guys are supposed to help me look normal, and you guys are not. Oh my God. See, I'm on my own. I'm on my own. I'm literally on my own. It's also a weapon. Oh my god. Keep weapons away from me because they're all right. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say. All right, here we go. Next story. The latest misguided attempt to impeach President Trump, for existing, because literally they want to impeach President Trump for existing. Well, this is all quickly falling apart. In fact, Democrats Jerry Nadler, Jan Schakowsky, Robin Kelly, and Kwesi Mfume have all requested to have their names removed from the impeachment resolution, claiming that their names had been mistakenly added because, of course, they didn't actually try to do this. Somebody put their names there without their permission. The impeachment was brought forward by the virtually known Michigan Democrat Sri Thanadar, who declared President Trump unfit to serve as his rationale with no factual supporting evidence, just left-wing propaganda that has already been disproven. We already know that. He's saying that, oh, it's all propaganda, but it's true. It's already been disproven by SCOTUS and other high courts. Representative Robin Kelly, he has an aide, and his aide told reporters that her boss was under the impression that the impeachment document had been reviewed by experts from the House of the Judiciary Committee, a sentiment shared by the aides of the other Democrats who claimed that their bosses were also under the impression that the impeachment had been fully vetted and approved to go forward. And we know that no, that's not the case. So this impeachment effort, I mean, what is this, like the third, fourth, fifth time that these people are trying to impeach? So they're claiming that President Trump is unfit to serve. Okay. Because Joe Biden was fit to serve. Biden. I think we're right when I say Biden. It was kind of a mess up, but actually it's true. Biden was fine though. That was just fine. But Trump, who's actually getting stuff done, who's actually talking to the world out there in front of cameras every day, no, he's the one who's not fit. He's the one who's unfit. Yeah, we should impeach him. Moving on. Let's move on. Democrats have reintroduced assault weapons ban. They are trying to reintroduce the ban on assault weapons. What the heck is an assault weapon? What is an assault weapon? These are just words that sound scary. These are things that they put together to sound scary, just like the AK-47. Oh, it looks scary. AR-15. Oh, it looks scary. So, just dumb. But anyway, here we go again. Democrats are once again at it, at attempting to violate the Second Amendment of the United States of normal American citizens. They're trying to violate our Second Amendment with an illegal gun law. Although the bill would grandfather weapons currently owned, new gun owners would be subject to this new law. Not the grandfather, of course, not the grandfather ones, but the new ones, new gun owners. Now, with that said, the assault weapons ban of 2025 states, and I quote, "It shall be unlawful." I need it. It just doesn't feel right without it. Okay. It states, It shall be unlawful for a person to import, sell, manufacture, transfer, or possess in or affecting interstate or foreign commerce a semi-automatic assault weapon. What is an assault weapon? What's an assault weapon? I've been waiting for that definition since they started that term, assault weapon. I've been waiting for it, but I haven't seen the proper definition of an assault weapon. I don't think they actually have a definition for an assault weapon, because literally I can assault somebody with this brush in my hand. Is this an assault weapon? Is this? Or is it an assault rifle? Because but if I have a rifle, if I have a normal rifle, is that also an assault rifle? Or does it have to have certain things on it to make it an assault? Or is it a battery weapon? Because assault and battery, it could be a battery weapon. Because assault, I won't go into that. There's the legal definition of assault is it could actually even be you saying something to somebody. So an assault weapon, what does that mean? What does it mean? All right. The ban also forbids the ownership of large capacity magazines not grandfathered into the exemption. So if you have a large magazine, that's also scary. It's scary. So you can't have that either. The Democrats that reintroduced this bill are California Democrat Adam Schiff, Alex Padilla, and Connecticut Senators Chris Murphy and Richard Blumenthal. Senate Democrats signed on as co-sponsors, as well as 100 House Democrats. These are just, you know what? I wonder, what are they going to do when everything goes to hell? Because it will go to hell eventually. We know it will, because America is under attack, whether we like it or not. The invasion of our southern border proved that we are under attack. We have enemies living in this country right now, and people thinking that things will just continue the way that they have been. It's not reality. It's not realistic. America is under attack. Like I said, proven by our southern border. America has Chinese spies, Iranian terrorists, radicals. We have that stuff right here in our own borders. So what is going to happen, you little House Democrats, when everything goes to hell, because it will? What's going to happen when that goes down? What are they going to do? Are they going to run to the nearest Republican? Please help us. We're sorry about what we said about the, banning all your weapons. But do you have any of those assault weapons so that we can use them? Please. Okay. The Democrats that introduced this, I already told you guys, Adam Schiff, Alex Padilla, Chris Murphy, Richard Blumenthal, and 100 House Democrats who signed on as co-sponsors. During the press conference where the bill was unveiled, Alex Padilla responded to questions about the Second Amendment, saying, and I quote, "This isn't about the Second Amendment. This is about saving lives." My God. I'm losing it. This isn't about the Second Amendment. This is about saving lives. Those with common sense are aware that this bill is certain to fail due to the current demographics or dynamics of Congress, because clearly we're dominating, baby. We're dominating House, Senate, everywhere. We're dominating. So, yeah, good luck on trying to tell a bunch of Republicans that you want to ban assault weapons. But the NRA pushed back on the Democrats on X, saying, and I quote, anti-gun lawmakers insist their push to ban assault weapons isn't about the Second Amendment. But let's be honest, that's exactly what it's about. And it's about disarming law-abiding citizens, law-abiding Americans, end quote. And the reason why it's important that he said that was because the people who are going to turn in their weapons, if this ever happened, which is a pipe dream, but if it ever happened, the only people who are going to turn in their assault weapons are the good, law-abiding citizens. The gangsters, the whatever, the bad people, all of them are going to give you a nice long middle finger for you to sit and spin on. Who do you think you are disarming? You are disarming all of the good people who, I mean, and my thing is, they always claim like, oh, we're here because we want to save everybody. We're here because we want to save lives. You're not saving lives. You're making good people sitting ducks. You're trying to make them sitting ducks. And the fact that if you don't pay your child support, that these kind of things can happen to you. People lose their gun rights and can't leave the country and can't travel and don't have driver's license and so on. The government is way too big. And I want to tell you guys another thing. I want to tell you guys something else. Last night, I was hanging out with Rachel. And Rachel was talking to me. We went to the movies. And then after the movies, we were hanging out in her car and, just talking in the car. You know how people do. We were hanging out and talking in the car. And Rachel was talking to me about one of her friends. And they're like a socialist or what have you. As me and her were talking, I said to her, what do you think is one of the biggest problems in America? And she said something about healthcare. And she said, Bernie Sanders could have changed this country around. Bernie Sanders would have been, world changing. He would have changed the world if Bernie Sanders had been put in office. And I said, yeah, damn straight. He definitely would have changed the world. All right. Yeah, he definitely would have done that, but I wouldn't say it would be something good. But she said that she believes one of the biggest problems in America is the fact that we don't have universal health care. She said that the healthcare system in America is awful. It's not helpful to the people, blah, blah, blah. And I told her, I said, you're speaking to an Arab, right? Rachel, me as your best friend, you're speaking to a person from a country that will not help you at all if you don't have money. But in America, we pretty much already have socialism in this country. And I'll tell you guys how. I think you guys know it in the chat, but she didn't know it. And I explained it to her. I said, America already has socialist tendencies. And one of those socialist tendencies has to do with the healthcare system. And I explained to her that you as an American, if you need medical attention, you will get medical attention, even if you cannot pay for it. Yes, they will send a bill to your house. Yes, you will get your credit ruined if you don't pay the bill. But guess what? You won't be dead. In this country, you can still get taken care of and you'll get a bill. That's the worst that will happen to you. You'll get a bill. But other countries, if you don't have that money, they're gonna roll you in your little wheelchair or on a gurney or what have you. They're gonna roll you into the hallway and leave you there. Do you not understand that? In this country, you'll get taken care of. And she said, well, having a bill like that is almost the same thing as being dead. I said, well, then die. I said, Rachel, she said, well, when you have a bill like that, Amira, think about the people who get fixed and then they have the bill and they can't pay and then they get kicked out of their homes and they don't have work and blah blah blah. I said, yeah, but they're breathing, aren't they? And she said, but that's not a life. I was like, well, all right, then die. Then die. Because somehow the doctors will still get paid. And she said, healthcare is a human right. I said, you do not have a right to make doctors who go through 20 years of schooling into slaves. You do not have a right to claim ownership of their labor. Their labor is not your right. You are not entitled to their work. Now, if we want to talk about insurance companies and how corrupt they are, I am all ears because I know that insurance companies are corrupt and I know that they don't help. And oftentimes they get all these premiums from you and all this money that you pay into the system. And guess what? They deny, delay, and deflect when it's time for them to pay up. I'm all ears on that. I don't believe in insurance companies, sure. But in America, you guys already have many socialist things in this country. And even that's not enough. What Rachel is proposing is that we all pay extra and everybody gets a ride on the healthcare reel. Well, guess what? You see other nations doing that. And she said, yeah, well, look at Denmark. I said, Denmark, a country that is what? Not even a third of our population. And guess what else about Denmark? They're white. A whole white country doing better than us. Great. They're homogeneous society. Am I saying that right? Homogeneous or homogeneous? Gosh, I always mess up that word, but you guys understand. This is a country with one race going there. And a small country at that. This is a small nation. Those things that they're doing over there, which are not socialist, and I'll explain that later, but those things will not work in America. America is not the same as Denmark. Denmark doesn't have a southern border that is being invaded constantly. I told Rachel, this is our argument last night. I'm telling you, and everything I'm telling you guys are things that me and her said. And I told her this. I said, you don't see people killing each other to try to get into Denmark. You see that in America, but not there. I said, Rachel, you're trying to compare a huge desired nation like the United States with a small country that not many people know about. It's silly. But anyway, and the other thing that I wanted to bring up to her and me and you, I'm telling you guys about what she said. The other thing that she brought up was she said something about the government needing to be more active in taking care of the people and blah, blah, blah. And of course, I explained to her about the government, like you give the government everything and guess what? They own and control everything. And do you really want that? I asked her, I said, didn't you say that you're not for kings, that you don't believe in having kings? Well, power corrupts. And if we give all of the power to a centralized group, a small centralized group, what do you think is going to happen to the rest of the peasants like ourselves? It's just people. Yes, zealot. And guess what? If she lived in Denmark, and when I tried to explain to her that socialism has been a thing in the world, and guess what? It's always ended poorly. What is the thing that every Democrat or every liberal that's for socialism says? I'll wait. What is listen, you guys are the liberal. I'm going to ask you guys. I'm going to tell you guys this. Socialism has been attempted around the world, liberal. And how did that work out? And now you guys respond. What is the thing that they always say when someone says that to them? I just want to hear what you guys think, because I'm going to tell you guys exactly what every liberal says to me when I say this to them. Hi, Ryan Bremer. Hi there. you. Thank you. Thank you. And no. And then the next one is, it wasn't given a fair chance. It wasn't given a fair shot. They always say the same thing. Yes, Aaron, they didn't do it the right way. What is the other thing? That wasn't true socialism. They were doing it wrong. So then how in the freak do you think it should be done? Because what they did was pure socialism. That's what it looks like when socialism is at its purest form. It looks like a bunch of peasants at the bottom, and you have 3 people at the top who are sitting there fat ticks. Look at North Korea. North Korea's leader does not reflect the state of their people. Donald Trump, he reflects the state of his people. Donald Trump being heavy on the waist, that's the state of America. That's how we look. North Korea, you would think North Korea was a fat, obese country if you saw their leader. My goodness. Yes. Oh, well, our version is the way that this will work. And guess what? Capitalism has been attempted many times around the world. And guess what happens with nations that turn capitalist? They get electricity. Like, can we get the basics? They get electricity and water and food to their people. Because literally the socialist nations can't even do that. They can't even get water, food, and electricity. The basics. Oh my God. Human nature will always human nature. I hear you. Bernie Sanders got back pocket money and pushed to outlaw certain drugs and governmentalized healthcare systems. And now he says he stays trying to lower the costs. Bernie help or create. Listen, Bernie, I always say that Bernie Sanders got done really badly by his party. He did. Do you guys see what he did to him? And the fact that he's still a Democrat is if I were him, I would have moved to the Republican Party at that point. I would have said, "Screw you guys. You guys screwed me over. I'm Republican now." But Bernie Sanders is still on the Democrat side for some reason. Bernie got burned. Socialism is fueled by greed, jealousy, laziness, and deceit. Because humans are not that benevolent. Humans naturally are selfish. Humans naturally do not want to share. No, they don't. Let's be real. No human really wants to share. Okay? When you're a kid, you get that installed in you. You are told that you not wanting to share is a bad trait. You're bad. Go to the naughty corner. Go sit in the corner and think of what you did. You didn't share. When you think about the natural state of children, no child wants to share. No child wants to share. And that is natural human nature. Nobody wants to share. So making socialist societies, it doesn't work because nobody wants to live that way. And nobody wants to be forced to share things that they worked for, things that they've won, earned, or have been gifted. Nobody wants to share it. Human nature is selfish, but that is how we survive. And capitalism is a beautiful system because it allows those who want to share, and those that don't want to share to not share. And everyone is happy. All right, I'll give you guys another story. Hold on one second. Hold on 1 second. They want communism too, which is even more scary. Oh my God. Well, socialism is the beginning and then it turned into communism. Hi, Jason. Yakub, that's true. We're all selfish. We are born selfish. if you ever want to see what human nature is, look at toddlers. They are human nature in a small package. All of their traits of toddlers, just, what's it called? Multiply that. And that's where you get adults. That's what we are. But we're just trained to suppress certain feelings. We're trained to hide certain things. But socialism forces people to work at gunpoint because no one will work if their money and assets, etc., is given to people who did nothing. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So you want to be forced at gunpoint to work. And then once you get your earnings, you give them away to those who did nothing. That's not happy-ish. There's no system that ever makes everyone completely happy. Happiness should not be the goal of life. Your goal in life is not to be happy. And like I said, okay, I know a lot of people disagree with me there. A lot of people believe that, as long as you're happy, that your life is going good. Happiness should not be the goal. The goal is deeper than that. And even marriage, even being married, the goal of my marriage is not for me to be happy. It's not about my happiness. It's about me being useful, learning how to be more loving, caring, and an asset to those around me. I am not, because my happiness, you know what my actual happiness would be? If anybody wants to know, my actual happiness would be being alone. I love to be alone. I am a bat, a cave bat. The caves and stuff. I am a bat. I like to be alone. If you really want to know what my true happiness is being alone. I love being alone. But guess what? Life is not about me being alone. If I were alone, I would be useless, useful to no one. I would be useful to no one. And guess what? That is not the way to live. So, no, it's not about being happy. It's about learning. You need to learn things. You need to be around other people. And you need to learn compassion, learn love, all those things. It's true, even though it sounds corny and weak, it is what it is. You still need to learn how to be compassionate, because if we aren't compassionate, then we are no more than beasts. We wouldn't be any different from the Komodo dragon eating a goat alive from its anus first, because that's usually where they start. Well, I mean, you could start on the soft belly area, because many animals like hyenas and such, they'll start eating you alive, and sometimes they start around the belly, but most of the time they start from the anus. And if humans didn't learn compassion and love and learning to work together and all that, we would be no more than beasts. No more than beasts. What makes us different from the beasts? Our compassion, our love, our ability to recognize what others need and to provide it to them, and so on and so forth. But that's life, isn't it? Getting ate out from your anus and love. Well, I guess there are two contradicting things, wouldn't they be? But yeah. Anyway, let's go to. Oh, my legs are falling asleep. My legs are falling asleep. What? The lioness is literally talking about eating it. All right, go to the naughty corner. Go to the naughty corner for 5 seconds. Wait, can they do 5 seconds? 10 seconds. You get 10 seconds in a naughty corner. Stop it. That's not what I was trying to say. I want love, so I give love. Trade-off. It doesn't always work that way, though. You can give love and still not get it. So I don't know about that, GB. Sometimes it doesn't work that way, but I see what you're saying. You get a better chance at getting love if you give it. So, yeah. That's why I don't see Cadbury eggs in the store. Uh, mm. What? What? Okay, I'm not even going to. All right, listen. Let's just focus because apparently you guys have started thinking about other things. All right, here we go. let's. All right. So my next thing to you is Salvador. You guys know that the Salvadorian president, Bukele, who is, I think he's Arab, isn't he? Najib. Najib is an Arab name, or Nayib. Sorry, Nayib Bukele. This person changed El Salvador around. This person completely cleaned it up. I talked to a couple of the Salvadorians and they all say, but now they can go back to their country for a vacation and not be afraid. They can actually walk down the streets in peace. Now, the Salvadorian gang leader, there's a Salvadorian gang leader who has revealed alleged ties with the president. So, a Salvadorian gang leader revealed that he made deals with President Nayib Bukele to help put Bukele into power and to keep him there. So, I guess basically, this Salvadorian gang leader helped Bukele get into power and to keep him there by controlling the gangs in El Salvador to make Bukele look good. I don't know. Let's continue with the article. This revelation reportedly holds weight due to Bukele's promise to crack down on gangs in El Salvador. Carlos Cartagena Lopez, the reported leader of the Barrio 18 Revolucionarios, made this statement to El Faro, which is an outlet that has been critical of the Salvadorian president Bukele. Well, Bukele, who has incarcerated tens of thousands of people after a 2022 massacre where 87 people were deleted by criminal organizations. That is what started or what kicked off Bukele's reign of incarcerations. So it was 87 people that were killed by criminal organizations. And from there, the Salvadorian president went on a rampage and just threw all of the gang members in jail. And now El Salvador is very clean. But a three-way agreement between Bukele, MS-13, and Barrio 18 was reportedly broken after Lopez was arrested at a police checkpoint. Now remember, Carlos Lopez is the reported leader of Barrio 18. So Barrio 18 is one of the gangs, one of the cartels. Now, Carlos Lopez is one of the leaders or the reported leader. Now, this person, Carlos Lopez, he was arrested at a police checkpoint. And from there, he started talking about the agreement that was made between Bukele, MS-13, and Barrio 18. So he was later released and escorted home due to what was called higher orders. Although Bukele denies this agreement, eyebrows have been raised higher at him due to his refusal to extradite MS-13 leaders to America. His detractors may assume that Bukele does not want those leaders giving testimony about him in the American courts. He does not want those MS-13 gang members to give testimony about the agreement that was made, I'm assuming back in 2022. What do you guys think? I mean, it kind of could make sense, but that doesn't make Bukele look bad. If he's a president and he made an agreement with the gangs, even if he did that, it doesn't make him look bad. Not in my view. Do you? Do you guys think he looks bad? Because listen, a good president just like Trump says, knows the art of the deal. And if this president was able to make deals with the three largest cartels in Southern and Central America, then why would he be seen as bad? I don't think that that would be seen as a bad thing. In fact, it actually makes him look even more gangster because you, instead of being extorted by the gangs, you actually made an agreement and made them stop what they were doing. So I don't know. I don't see this as a bad thing. So all these people trying to say that Bukele is bad and he made an agreement and so on and so forth, this is so stupid to me. Hi, D14. I mean, to me, it doesn't make him look bad at all. 3G says, you're a good reporter. Way better than Richard Maddow. Listen, I'm trying to be a good reporter to you guys, okay? I'm trying to be a good reporter. I'm trying. Hi, Teddy. Okay, so hold on. Oh, Blindy says, wait, what did you say, oh, Blindy? How would they agree to being shut down? Maybe that wasn't the agreement. Maybe the agreement was we will be low key and we'll stop fighting each other for something else. Maybe they had to be given something in exchange. So who knows? Who knows what was given in exchange? But yeah, they're not going to shut down operations fully because obviously cartels have to make money. And the way they make money is through extortions and drugs being transported and manufactured. So, I mean, that's what I heard. That's what I heard. I don't really know how cartels make their money, but yeah. Okay. Yes, Yaku, leave me alone. It actually has power. I don't know if you guys noticed, but my voice is louder when I go like this versus if I go like that. It is louder. Yeah, it really is. Because even though it's not really connected, it's some kind of like a Bluetooth connection with my computer. And leave me alone. All right, I have one last story for you guys. One last story for the road. Are you guys ready? Here we go. Last story of the night. TSA. TSA, because we must. Because why not? Okay, why not? TSA apparently is using a device to access travelers' phones and basically go through your phones. So several travelers have expressed their concern over an action taken by TSA agents during a checkpoint search at the airport in San Diego. A passenger posted his ordeal with the TSA on Reddit, telling readers that he was pulled aside at random for additional screening. Well, welcome to my world, bro. Welcome to my world. Because somehow, every time I travel, I always get pulled aside for additional screening because it's completely random. Random. I'm always pulled aside for some strange reason when I travel. So welcome to my world. Maybe it's because my last name is Al-Habada. They're like, Amira Al-Habada. Yeah, you have been selected for random screening. We just need to see some additional things, okay? Can you please hold out your hand so we can see if you have touched any bombs, gunpowder, cocaine, just the random stuff. Anyway, so this person is a passenger who posted his ordeal with the TSA on Reddit, and he told, hold on. and he told readers that he was pulled aside at random for additional screening, which the man initially did not have a problem with. However, the TSA agent then asked for the man's cell phone after patting him down. When the man informed the TSA agent that he did not have his phone on him because it was being run through the scanner, you guys know the x-ray thing, she became irate and raised her voice saying, and I quote, "Everyone has a cell phone. Where's yours?" "What's in your wallet?" "It's my money and I need it now." Okay, I whatever. "Everyone has a cell phone. Where's yours?" said the TSA agent. The man told her where his phone was, saying that it was going through the x-ray machine. And she instructed him to go fetch it or retrieve it. Go retrieve it, go fetch, whatever. Then the agent plugged a device into his phone and told him to unlock it so she could go through it. So she connected a device into his like socket thing and told him to open his phone so that she could go through it. Wow. The man didn't argue with the agent, but he did ask TSA agents at the next two airports about the increased search procedure and about what was plugged into his phone. The other TSA agents told him that they had absolutely no idea what the plug-in was and didn't know anything about the procedure that he was put through. Now, after this man put his story out on Reddit, another Reddit poster told him what the device was, and he told him what the TSA agents were looking for. Apparently, the plug-in device is a wand that uses a swab to collect sample matter. The swab was looking for known explosive compounds, and the TSA officers were trained to look for signs of tampering with electronic devices. So if that cell phone had been disassembled and reassembled, they could tell because, like air pockets and what have you in it. But that does not include going through his phone as the TSA agent did, because a TSA agent had no reason to have that man open his phone. So in the end, we're still unsure about what actually happened there. And, the reason that this is important, the reason why this story is important is because we've seen that there has been a more blatant invasion of privacy in the West and in America. We are very obedient. Western people are very obedient now because we figure these people are just doing things that are protocol. Everybody says, "Oh, it's protocol, it's protocol." So we're obedient and we just want to get to our destination. So we're not going to make a fuss. We're not going to make a fight. And so you see people being more obedient to TSA agents than other people, especially than to random police officers. The reason why this is important is because this TSA agent, she just came up to this random guy and told him to unlock his phone, and he did so. She connected something to his phone, which was not connected to other people's phones. And when she did that, he doesn't know what type of information was extracted from his phone. I want to ask you guys, when is that going to end? Because we know that this got this way after September 11th. We know that after September 11th, that's when you had to start taking off your shoes, and there was no sense of privacy anymore for travel. For air travel, there's no more privacy at all. And in fact, it's gotten to the point where people are crying. I've seen people cry at the airports because the TSA agents threw away valuable liquids to them. Like, let's say, expensive perfumes, expensive colognes, gifts that were not even unwrapped. They were still in their original packaging. They were still covered in plastic, but yet they were still forced to discard or separate from their items because TSA. We were kind of promised that this would go down after a while, but it has not gone down. And in fact, TSA is getting even more bold which is crazy because you would think after the September 11th craze and all the events that happened, you would think that the security measures would have decreased a little bit. But no, it remains absurdly high. And the other thing is taking off your shoes. All of this shoes off and everything. I heard that that was going to stop. There was some rumor going around like 5 years ago that they were no longer going to require people to take off their shoes anymore, but yet you still see that happening. They're still forcing you to remove your shoes, going through your things, attaching things and plugging things into your phones to retrieve information off of them that they shouldn't be touching at all. So this is an invasion of privacy that we are also tolerating as Westerners. Another thing is of course, we already know that everything that we do is being watched on the internet. Every phone call that we make, everything, even our phones, of course, we all know that our phones are just little tracking devices that are constantly carried with us. But we have no privacy anymore in this country. And the fact that we are so obedient and so agreeable with TSA agents because we just want to get to our destination without any hassle, we got to find a way to, there has to be a better way. Let's just say that. There's got to be a better way without causing this much distress to the people. I'll admit one more thing to you guys before I go. Today, I was at the airport because I was dropping off a family member who is traveling. And I had forgotten to give my family member something. As my family member was traveling through the security thing, so you know the TSA, do you know where they ask you for your ID and everything? And then you pass and you go into the security area where they make you basically strip. Like literally take off your clothes. Are you paying me for this? Anyway, right there is where me and my family member kind of got separated, and I had forgotten to give some monies to my family member. And I tried to call the family member to, we get escorted first class. So when we go through the thing, we have an escort person with us. So the escort person was supposed to come back, but they didn't. So I tried to tell the TSA agent that, you know, the ones who are standing there asking for the ID, I said, hey, can you get my family member? They're just right there. What did the man do? He said, ma'am, you can't come past this area. I said, I'm not. You see me standing here. Can you please just turn around and just call their name so that I can get, or can you? He said, no, I can't. Like, call them. How am I going to call them if their phone is in the x-ray machine? He says, we'll call them. I said, I can't. Obviously, they're not. Okay. I gave him the monies and I said, here, can you give this monies to that person in the green shirt? He goes, no, no, I'm not going to. A lady who was in the line for security came to me. Why am I still doing this? A lady who was in a line to get to security, her and her husband and her baby, she saw what was happening and she turned around and she said, you can give me the money. I'll hand it to them. I said, thank you. I appreciate that. And then I looked at the TSA agent. Because some people just don't have any humanity, do they? Because the family member that I was trying to get to was an elder. It was an elderly family member. And he sees me trying to reach this elderly family member. And oh my God. So anyway. So yeah. So that's what a loser, Suka says. No. And it's like, okay, it's your job, right? But your job is not to be a dick, okay? You like, even if it's my job, I'm going to make sure that you are not crossing the line. I didn't cross the line. That's why I stood on my side. As long as I'm not crossing the line, what is the problem with you taking the money and passing it to the family member? That's just basic humanity. But these people, they think they're so far. I mean, they think they're so far above everyone else because they have TSA powers, I guess. It's just dumb. That is their job. They should. That's what I'm saying. It is your job to help us. And you're just standing there. I'm not doing, no. Stand behind the line. I am behind the line, silly. Does it look like I'm jumping the rope? You know, the little tape thingy, rope thingy, whatever. I'm like, am I jumping the rope? I am not. Please hand this to her. No. Oh my God. So yeah, that's what happened today. But yeah, I just brought that up just because I always defend police. I always defend law enforcement. You guys know how I am. I'm all about law and order. But sometimes you get people who just act so different just because they've been given a certain position, and all of a sudden they just. But power corrupts, and we all know that power corrupts. And yeah, that's when you really get to see how a person is when you give them a little bit of power. So yeah, well, I guess now I'll probably just go ahead and relax. And what are you guys gonna do? Like, what are you guys about to do? You guys gonna go to sleep? Because I don't know, it is kind of early to go to sleep, but at the same time, why not? Who cares? Like, what am I gonna do? Stand up, stay awake, just looking at the wall? I'm not gonna do anything right now, so might as well just go ahead and relax. And yes, I'm grooming myself because that's what girls do when they're comfortable. Like, that's what girls do when they're comfortable. They groom like cats. You know how cats, you guys know how when cats are comfortable, they well, this is the girl way of grooming. But yeah, so yeah, I guess I'll let you guys go now. Neil says, we endured more during World War II, but then our government was fighting the war with intent to win, so we could go back to normal. But since 9/11, politicians left and right talk about a new normal forever. Oh, speaking of new normals and forever and world orders, an article just came out today talking about the United Nations and talking about how Trump plans to no longer fund the United Nations, and how if President Trump does not continue to fund the United Nations, that they are going to go broke within the next 7 to 10 years. Maybe less. Maybe less. So, what do you guys think about that? President Trump saying that he is no longer going to fund the United Nations anymore. We are no longer going to be responsible for NATO, Ukraine, the United Nations. None of them. None of them. Zelensky is not our sugar baby anymore. What do you guys think about that? Let's go, says Zelich. Zelich, let's go, baby. Stop UN funding. Yes, yes, yes. AK says, I had to put off my gardening projects and planting a simple job. Oh, into a pain in the arse now. Guys, I am so happy that we have President Trump. And you know what? A lot of people are sour right now because what President Trump is doing is affecting them. But at the same time, listen, it may affect you, but trust and believe that it's for the best. Whether it affects you or not, it's for the best. And I'm sorry that you had to either lose your job or, you know, what happened, whatever have you. But it's for the best of America. And if you care about your country and you are patriotic. I mess up that word sometimes with patriarchy. But if you are patriotic, you would see the bigger picture and understand that everything that's being done right now is for our own good. It may not seem like it in the moment, but it is. So I am so happy that we have President Trump and not anyone else. And President Trump has been doing interviews like crazy recently, and he has been owning all the liberal interviewers that he's doing, the interviews with. He has been owning all of them. Just recently, one of them was talking about defending one of the MS-13 gang members. And President Trump said, bruv, he had MS-13 on his knuckles. And the news reporter, supposed news reporter of the liberal whatever channel, he said, no, he had tattoos on his hands, but they weren't MS-13. Trump said, what does M and S and 1-8 stand for if it's not MS-13, or sorry, M and S and 1-3? He said, no, those were tattoos that could have been interpreted as MS-13, but they really weren't. And Trump said, are you like being willfully blind and deaf? He was like telling the reporter, he's like, I can't believe that you are actually defending MS-13 in the face of America. And I guess something like the reporter said something like, do you have 100% and 100% faith in so and so, and one of the politicians? And Trump turned around and said, I don't even have 100% faith that we're going to finish this interview. I was like, oh my gosh, President Trump is really killing it out there. And this man has so much energy. He really does. And I'm just so happy that we have somebody like him instead of what we could have had. Can you guys imagine 4 years of Can you guys imagine 4 years of Heels Up Harris cackling at us? I can't. Yes, they are experts in dog whistle. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay, I'll let you guys go. Have a great night, everyone. Oh my god. Oh, I couldn't. Oh. Oh my god. That just tickles me. Oh my gosh. I love that. The hyena years. Oh, that is so funny. I don't know why that just made me laugh so much. It's just because as soon as I saw that sentence, the hyena years, I saw like these ugly hyenas. Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't. Okay, stop. Good night, everybody. Thank you all for joining me today. It has been a pleasure to spend the last 2 hours with you and only you. Thank you all for joining me as well. I hope I have been a good lioness, happy to entertain, inform, and piss off. I'm happy to be here with you all, and I hope I did my job as I should. I hope you guys have enjoyed the time with me as much as I've enjoyed it with you. And I hope to see you all on the next time that I am here available for you. Have a good night, everyone. Have a great weekend. And I will see you all next time. And with that, I yield my time. Good night, everybody.
Well, I say every day. It's a getting closer to taking a bath with my fucking toaster.